Hi and welcome back finally from a long hiatus. And today I'm visiting one of the premium diecast shops that's still left in the UK at the Aviation Retail Direct in Hillingdon, North London. So here we are zooming in. So Hillingdon is in northwest London, just off of the junction of the M40. It's about 5 minutes from that junction and literally just straight off of it, really, near the Battle of Britain bunker in Uxbridge if you want to double up on a visit as well. If you are travelling by train, you can get to this on the Metropolitan line, which usually leaves sort of Baker Street area and comes into Hillingdon. It's about a 45-minute ride. Hi, welcome to another day out with DWC, and today we're at Aviation Retail Direct in Hillingdon in northwest London. Been stuck in traffic for about 2 hours. I've got a cameraman with me today, going professional. Let's go in. Massive thank you to Gary there for recording that short little intro as we're outside the shop. So as we go in, obviously we're meted with a massive amount of displays. Initially it's a huge amount of civil aviation stuff, which is well out of my comfort zone, of course, but something, of course, as a diecast enthusiast I can really appreciate, and it is literally only comparable really to Gemini in Las Vegas, in the sense it's almost like a cathedral at diecast. And you can see what's really great is a lot of the models are out of their boxes in the civil sense anyhow, giving the prospective buyer a bit of a feel for what the aircraft really looks like. And of course now, where we buy a lot of aircraft online, we don't get to see that. In the old model zone days, we'd go in there, open the box, have a little look at the model before you purchase it, check for any defects, whatnot. It's a really great thing to see. And what was really encouraging from the hobby perspective was how busy the shop was. Lots of people in there, and spending some considerable time in there as well, because the team are very happy to accommodate you and chat to you. And massive thank you to Paul, who runs ours, and of course Mark, who is there on the day, and I believe Paul's wife as well, whose name I did not take, but who was very accommodating to both myself and Gary. So it's a great place to go and shop, and as you can see, a myriad of British Airways aircraft, including Concorde, the A380s, 747, and God knows what else. And this is just the tip of the iceberg. Huge selection on offer, and some amazing aircraft, and of course some more military-based stuff in there, including AWACS and Hercules. So, like I said, this isn't my bag in terms of what I collect, but this bad boy certainly is. Now, this, of course, is the weathered version of the wonderful Calibre Wings B-58 Hustler, looking absolutely resplendent on display there, and of course a lovely C5 Galaxy as well. And underneath is, again, a huge collection of 144 models, and the detailing on these are great. Obviously, again, not my sort of collecting habit, but well worth looking at, and of course a selection of 1/400 ones on the bottom here as well. So like I said, the collection is huge in terms of civil. They have a second shop over at Heathrow Airport itself. I believe it's next to Terminal 3, I think it is. Again, I'm happy to be corrected on that. I believe that is purely civil aviation only, but you may have seen these guys popping up at many an air show, including the last Duxford air show, in a massive tent, and have also been known to go to Riyadh. Of course, this was cancelled this year, but I did visit this shop a couple of years back and did a live here when we was looking at the pre-Riyadh stock. But a huge amount of aircraft on offer. Let me shut up and you can watch a little bit of this, and until we get into the military bit. Now we're into one of the major players in the civil aviation and of course military aviation in 400 and 200 scale models, and of course that's our friends over at Gemini Jets in Las Vegas, obviously run by Todd, who very kindly come on the Wings Monthly. And here's one of the aircrafts I really like. And that's the C5 Galaxy in this green and grey 1980 style camo. Remember these being at Mildenhall back in the day. A massive aircraft, and it's still amazing that these things fly. Now we're into another brand that sort of seamlessly matches civil and military, and that's Herpa, of course a European brand with a selection of different airlines, including ones you sort of put together more for the younger collector, and of course 1400 and 1200 style jets, including the course the B58 Hustler there, as I pick it up. Lovely models. They had a few of the drones, which Rene has just featured on his channel, of course, the Dutch Diecast, so if you've not seen him. And of course a smattering of Russian hardware as well, and of course B-52 bombers and whatnot. I was on the hunt for a few P-38s, but unfortunately they didn't have them this day. And we're into the premium aisle, in my view. And of course, that's the Warbird and Hobbymaster Corgi. Of course, another smattering of beautiful diecast civil aviation aircraft there on display. And of course, the selection was pretty big, and not as big as it has been, but a decent amount. And now I'm featuring some of the obviously the bigger Corgi stuff, and of course this is relatively new to the market for the younger sort of starter collector I should say, and that's this WLTK stuff. Really cheap, based at 30 quid, well worth starting for the young collector, and just featured some Panzer Camp stuff there as well, including the Sea King. Really good. This lovely T38 looked really nice. It was certainly on the agenda. And of course some classic Hobby Masters, including Aero Cobras, Phantoms, many Sukhois, and of course the 148 Spitfires as well, a huge amount of them, probably about 10 or 11 of those, F-35s, Mirage 2000s, the lovely U2 of course, many an F-15 as well, including the D-Day one there. I'm just pulling out the original US Navy Hellcat in Blue Angel scheme as well, which was, I've got the more recent release, which I got from Flying Tigers. But yeah, some great models there. Obviously at the RRP in terms of pricing, some of it was relatively cheaply priced, and some of it of course at the top end, but that's a good way of balancing. Of course a lovely 132 Mosquito there, a loft breaker, price at nearly 200 quid. Obviously how much has that gone up? Will we see that again by Corgi? Let's hope so. Of course into some Hobby Master Phantoms. Had plenty of the Thunderbirds ones there as well, which is on the agenda at getting some point. Last time I went here I actually bought an original Thunderbird, and it stayed in my collection for about a month before making its way over to the US. A Dragon F-18 now, and then a myriad of A10 Thunderbolts in many display schemes, plus obviously working schemes as well. Lovely stuff, again at the top end of pricing if I was to be really honest, but if you need it you pay it, then it's as simple as that. So great models. I'd like to get a few to my collection. I know Gary's got plenty, including the scheme. Some lovely Sky Raiders, we'll feature that shortly, and of course the Harriers as well, lots of them in stock. Got some Hobby Master Tornadoes there, and of course the new Black Widow, which does nothing for me, but each to their own, and of course some F-14 Tomcats as well, and of course an A6 Intruder. There's, like I said, the opportunities here were huge. Lots of the Delphines down there, and of course some classic Corgis, including the 144 scale stuff, which again does nothing for me, but each to their own. A few boxed Oxfords, lots of F-35s. Again priced decently. They're pretty much what you would expect to pay when they come out. No, they're not there to give stuff away, but for me they all look the bloody same because they're all painted grey. But there you go, a nice couple of caliber wings, F14s as well, which are often regarded as the best in the business. There's a few F18s as well, and of course some more of the Chinese stuff up there, including Lancaster's Hercules, and of course some bits along the top shelf, including the 4 set 1 squadron stuff, and a lovely Shuko JU52. There's the new Rafale as well, nice model. Lots of starfighters there, including some really rare schemes, and of course lots of F16s, which seem to be coming out left, right and centre right now. So Eurofighter Typhoon from Corgi, of course the Tomkatski from Caliber Wings, and an Air Force One, I believe, F-35. And there's some JC Wings stuff, a couple of bargain Phantoms. I think these are 40 quid, the US one. Gary certainly fancied that one, might have his eye on that one going forward. Of course some more Thunderbirds Phantoms as well, and a selection of Corgi jets on the bottom, and a lovely aircraft carrier there. I'd imagine this is 1/400 scale, I didn't really look, but certainly take up a chunk of room if you was going to purchase that one, that's for sure. Quite a few Frogfoots. Being a bit nosy, it's difficult to record and look at the same time, so nice Sky Raider this one. You may see this one come back with me. Stay tuned for a review coming soon. Again, I paid 90 quid for this, but really nice model. I've been after a blue Sky Raider for ages, and that one there is very similar to the old Fighter Collection version, which later went to Kennet and was repainted into a blue version, very similar to the one I pictured. I opened all 3 just to see and make sure all the weapons and whatnot were in there and it was in good nick. So a little loving tap from me there, as I say to myself, well, there's 90 quid gone out of my account, but well worth it, and looking forward to reviewing it. We've got a huge Concorde in the window, fantastic looking model that, and a plastic P-17, and of course a few other Warbirds on display, including a Rafale, a couple of T-38s in Thunderbird schemes, a 148 Spitfire, and many other bits and pieces there, including a couple of Corgi Legends ones on the bottom shelf there. So of course nice to see the aircraft out of their boxes before you buy them as well. I don't know whether these were actually loose or not, and of course I think that was a Panzerkampf Seekank, but it looks pretty decent in all fairness. And then down the right hand side we've got loads of Eurofighter Typhoons, again priced pretty much what you expect to pay for a Typhoon, in a selection of different greys. Dan will be excited by that. Some easy model aircraft, and of course they had 3 of the latest Beaufighter in stock, which is quite surprising, and a hell of a lot of more recent Corgis, including the Spitfire, the US Polky one, which was, I think it was $52.95, which is decent. They had the latest Swordfish as well, which I believe was $79.95, which is pretty much what Corgi are charging, as well as the Vietnam Sea King, which is still relatively hard to get. And of course Michael will be doing his nut right now looking at all the World War I stuff, some quite rare stuff here as well and hard to find, including lots of the Fokker triplanes. But I'm going to shut up now and let you enjoy the rest of this video without me waffling on, and I'll see you at the end. So that was a really fun half hour or so in the shop with Gary. I'm going to make my way to the till now to pay for this beautiful model, and I'll speak to you in a second. Hi guys, hope you enjoyed the video. I certainly enjoyed my visit over to Aviation Retail Direct last week, and we'll certainly be back again. A massive thanks to Paul and the team over at ARD for putting up with me, wandering around for an hour, asking lots of questions, and pretty much just being like a kid in a sweet shop. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, please make sure you do. Make sure you like the post, and if there's any questions or comments you want to see, or things you want to see on the channel, please, we're always open to ideas. Thanks for watching. We'll see you soon.